It is Thursday, September 25th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3 coming off of a fire-filled Dynamite. We also have Santino Marella saying that TNA is going to be the number 2 company. He seems stunned by this, SP3. We also have John Cena and AJ Styles not working on television, but working on social media, and plenty more to chat about here today. We have Vinny Pacifico joining us at 11 o'clock, and we have the C-Suite, as always. SP3, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I thought coming off of last week's busy week with the 2 big shows last Saturday, that this week would be relatively a little bit calmer. I was like, oh, we'll probably get some news out of the big shows from the outlier companies or brands this weekend. But I was like, during the week, it won't be that busy. We got relationships being exposed and people's contracts expiring. That's not the right time for their contract to expire with everything going on. We got people who are giving opinions, like 6-year-old opinions about Riho and canceling themselves on social media. We got, yeah, man, it's like we can never get a break. Jeremy Lambert can never get a. He's always writing a wrestling story because this whole business never takes a break.
No, never.
But it's Thursday. I'm happy to be here. All that good stuff.
I learned that during COVID when everybody else got shut down. The whole world shut down, and wrestling was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep running shows, and we're just going to keep on moving. And I was like, that's unfortunate because that means I still have to do work. Like, blessed to still have a job during that time period and everything. I can't complain about that. But I remember I was in therapy, and I remember just like telling my therapist, like, I don't get a break. I am so just burnt out. Like, it sucks what's going on with COVID. I'm like, some people are just chilling and maybe going stir crazy and everything. I would love to just not do anything for a day or two. But no, wrestling just doesn't stop. So that's the life of this business, and it just doesn't stop. SP3. But that's why we're here every single day. And if you're here with us every single day, leave us a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you've not done that anymore, or if you haven't done that already. And leave a super chat, get your question, comment, statement read on the air. We already have a super chat from our pal Volub, who gives us our almost daily vanilla fumble, as he says. Vanilla fumble.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when the IWC buys into the rumor that Cope is going back to WWE when Kevin Nash's junk got more coverage from media. That was a very funny tweet by Kevin Nash.
It was. I only heard about it this morning. But yeah, I woke up to a whole bunch of tweets on my timeline and YouTube videos from various YouTube channels, very big channels and small channels. But yeah, everybody was like, Cope is done with AEW. I'm like, so y'all saw an obvious storyline taped segment and y'all took that because y'all really want to see Edge versus John Cena so bad. Because that's what this John Cena retirement tour needs. More nostalgia.
It was very funny when I saw people buying into that. Obviously, I didn't think that at all. I was like, oh, Cope's going away. He's taking another break. Didn't he just take a break? He just took a break from Revolution to All In, and then he came back and for a couple months. Now he's taking another break. That's what this guy needs. And then, yeah, I saw people saying, oh, he's going to WWE. He's going to take on John Cena. I was like, he's admitted his contract still has another year on it. Why are we pretending like his contract is up anytime soon? You think Tony Khan is gonna let him out and just be like, not out of his contract, but you think Tony Khan's gonna be like, hey, go there to WWE and do this match with John Cena? Maybe Tony would, honestly, but do you think WWE is gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna welcome you back here to do this match with John Cena? No, absolutely not. I don't think Tony would do that at this point either. And maybe
no, not after
but-
this. Maybe before this year, maybe before last year, but not after this year and everything WWE has done or directed their whole counter programming strategy against AEW and made Tony had to shift things, made him have to make decisions that he probably didn't want to make. So no, he's not going to do that. No, I don't think that John Cena's retirement tour needs any more nostalgia, because that's all it's been. It's been nostalgia. It's been CM Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. It's been nothing but nostalgia, except for a botched heel run. So it's been nostalgia, a botched heel run, and 2 great matches. Congratulations, Cena. That's how we're riding you out into the sunset.
I also saw people being like, and I think it was that other morning show and their, their takes on wrestling. Like, oh, John Cena needs to extend his retirement tour. It needs to go to WrestleMania. That gives everybody more time to make it better, and it gives John more time to properly say goodbye. They knew about this 6 months in advance. John Cena told them July of last year, Money in the Bank last year, that 2025 would be his final year. They were not caught off guard by this announcement. Maybe they were caught off guard by the announcement that he was going to retire, but they were not caught off guard by the announcement or by the year coming up that John Cena was going to retire. Why did they get an extra 4 months? Because they screwed this up? No. John Cena also has schedules and everything that I'm sure he looked at it and he's like, hey, we're doing 2025, and then in 2026 I got to start filming more. I can't worry about a WWE schedule because now I'm going to have more stuff to put in the film.
He's probably filming season 3 of Peacemaker. Probably got another big DC movie with everything that's going on in the DCEU. He has multiple other movies. He had a movie on Amazon with Idris Elba that just came out too. It's like he's always busy. He always got something coming out. He always got something that he got to promote. He is not going to be here past January. So this is how I know the difference between a delusional WWE fan and a fan that actually has some common sense and has been watching and takes context clues and takes them to heart and makes them change how they're viewing the product, by the fans that still believe that Triple H, all Triple H needs is 4 more months. 4 more months. He can make this better. If you still have faith in Triple H after 2025, then you're delusional at this point.
The people who say John Cena needs to extend his retirement tour are admitting that this has sucked, but they don't want to admit that this has sucked because, they're doing splits for a TKO basket. Kenny Omega's words, not mine.
What a tweet. What a tweet by Kenny doing splits for that TKO basket. And there's a lot of people who do that though. Like this is not a funny joke that's not real. No, it's funny because it is real, and that this is what people do on social media. This is what people do on their podcasts. Their podcasts are designed to get the attention of WWE and be like, hey, WWE, look at me. Can I get a treat? Can I get a pet? Can you pat me on the head? Oh, can I come to the next homecoming show? Can I come to the next Raw reunion? Can I come to the next Hall of Fame? Yeah, AEW sucks. They're trash. Oh, thank you. Thank you, WWE. Thank you, WWE.
They get the impersonal Christmas card that just says, thanks for being part of the WWE family. That's sent
cheese
out
platter
to everybody. Yeah, the cheese platter. Yeah.
Gets a nice little hosting job on WWE LFG and stuff. Or maybe that's just Bubba Ray. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, Bubba Ray did it. Booker did it. Taker did it. All three of those guys did podcasts to grift and badmouth AEW and got themselves a job on WWE LFG.
Taker didn't need to though. Taker's Taker.
Oh well, Taker's the star. He's what
Yeah.
the show. They probably got him first, and then everything else they figured out the name and all the other coaches after. They was like, Taker, you down to do a show on A&E? Okay, cool. Let's come up with a concept. That's how they did for Taker.
We got a few more super chats here. Misfit Wrestling Podcast says, get ready for Io and Mayu announcement tonight. Is it tonight? I thought that was at like 11 Eastern. I think that's in like an hour, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me double check. I thought it was 11 a.m.
So that's what Marigold's gonna do for their big end of year show.
Yeah, they made allusions to that. Oh, it's 11 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, I thought it was 11 a.m. That's my fault.
So he was right.
Yeah, I can't read time clearly. All right, it is tonight. So there you go. Yeah, I think they're gonna announce WWE talent. Thank you, Misfit Wrestling. That's my fault. I read 11 p.m. and mistook it as a.m., which it makes more sense 11 p.m. because usually the announcements from Japan are typically at night in America.
Either early in the morning or at night.
Yeah. The fire trucks have come to make an announcement there.
Dude, it's like I live right across the street from them, so I know when their work shift starts. It's when I hear all of them, all the fire trucks just come out against the session. You do know we have the wrong background up, right?
Oh, we have the triple box background up. I didn't notice that until you mentioned it. There we go. I'll blame Joel for that. That's his fault.
Always blame Joel. This guy was trying to switch with me. He's trying to make me come in yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw you ignored him.
He messaged me privately.
Okay. Obviously, I knew it didn't go through because he was here yesterday, so I knew like you guys didn't switch. But I saw in our group chat you ignored him, so I was like, oh, I guess that didn't happen.
I didn't do it on purpose. But if I'm trying to get like your attention or Joel's attention in the group chat, what I would do is tag y'all. He just said SP3, just in regular letters. Like I was like, I didn't see that until after he messaged me privately. I was like.
Yeah, Joel had to take some time off yesterday, and Kimmy came in, and then she was very disappointed last night because Britt Baker did not show up, which I don't know why she thought Britt Baker was going to show up. Well, I mean, I know why she thought
so that. Are we ready to call it?
It's close. It's close.
We're close?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, she was at 60-40 yesterday. Mm-hmm. Joel was at like 2%, which I was at 10% just because I wanted to be fair and nice to Kimmy to try to give her a little bit of hope, but I was closer to the 2 than even 10. I mean, we got women's tag titles, but I don't even know where who she teams.
Deanna.
Okay.
That's a real life best friend. Makes sense.
Okay.
But those are two people that don't get on AEW television, so like there's no bet. There's no bets. Bets are all off. No, she's not. She has not been with Talia since like February. No, she is not with Talia though. She has not
Deanna
been
and Talia, that's not a thing anymore.
That got dropped like without explanation months ago.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Yeah, I don't think she's coming back anytime soon. Because last night would have been the time, and last night obviously it did not happen last night. Oh, Henry's saying Deanna posted a picture with Ty. Yeah, I mean, sure, I'm sure she wants into the tournament. You know, why if you're Deanna, why wouldn't you be like, hey, remember when we were a team and can we get into this tournament? So it makes sense for Deanna to do that. On television, though, that's not a thing
It
and
has not been
yeah, it
addressed
hasn't been a
or
thing.
referenced in a while.
Yeah.
I think we got a hint of like one tag team on last night's show. Indirectly, if you could go back and think about the show, indirectly, I think they set up another tag team. But no indications of Britt Baker. It seems like there wasn't even any hints. There wasn't anything Britt Baker referenced. There wasn't no chance for Britt Baker. I'm ready to call it. I'm at like an 80% ready. I'm 20% away from 100% saying, "Oh, it's done. It's over." Britt's heading elsewhere.
Yeah. There's I don't know I don't know what the situation is with behind the scenes and everything. We know her contract still has a while, but yeah, they don't really mention her. She is featured in the they just put the AEW women's titles on sale, the replicas, and she is featured on the like poster for that, essentially, showing all the women's champions. But otherwise, I don't really mention her. I don't really reference her. And last night would have been, kind of the time to do it because of being Pittsburgh and everything. And obviously it didn't happen last night. So it's a tough look there. It's a tough look.
Poor Brit fans who were convinced when they put Kris Statlander and Mina Shirakawa in the main event. They were like, Brit's coming back. They got a main event angle for Brit.
Yeah. I don't think Rio was on the poster, Bargov, because Rio had the old women's title. Rio never held the new women's title, right?
No,
your memory's much better.
She held the original one, the small one with the circular plate.
Yeah, so I don't.
Shout out to Adrian. See Adrian Hernandez in the chat. He says, "By elsewhere, you better mean to her other career, respectfully." I mean, I could see her going to another promotion. I mean, that promotion would probably be WWE. But yeah, it would. I feel like it would be closer to Andrade than Cody, as far as this AEW to WWE jump.
I don't think anybody is coming where Cody is. I think it would be.
I feel Ethan Page is the closest AEW to WWE jump. Just how dramatically his stock has risen from going from AEW to WWE.
Yeah, fair. I think it's closer. It's probably in the line of Ricky and Mariah where they are right now. And Ricky and Mariah are in good spots with NXT. I mean, Ricky's about to main event this show. Mariah, Blake Monroe, is about to have this weapon steel cage match against Jordan Grace. So they're in good spots with NXT. I feel like that's where Britt would be, is probably in NXT for a little while. And then once they figure out main roster, they can bring her up there. But they have so much talent on the main roster. They don't utilize any of it on SmackDown, but on Raw, they have so much talent on the main roster that needs to get utilized. There's only so many spots on Raw. On SmackDown, they could use a lot of that talent, and I think you'll start to see some of that talent come up here in the next couple of months. But on Raw, they ain't got spots for any women in NXT.
I think they do. I think if you add, I was talking into it. Shout outs to Shadi. I see him in the chat too. I was doing a No Mercy preview, and I was like, Fatal Influence. If you whoever they get to replace Jasmine Nix, you put that act. I feel like they would work better actually on Raw than SmackDown, because Raw does not have any heels. They got Asuka and Kyrie, but that's one act. They need more heels. They don't have any heels. They have all the top baby faces in the women's division, but there's no heels for them to go against outside of Becky, who's kind of in her own thing, doing her own thing over here. And then they got Asuka and Kyrie.
They got Roxanne and Raquel. I'm naming you heels. What do you want me to do?
I'm talking about heels that will mix it up for world titles and be in part of main events. Not heels that are losing the first match on the card every single week. And that's Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez has more losses than anyone else on the WWE roster, and it's probably not even close.
Remember when she
remember when she was losing nonstop on her way out of NXT every single week when they randomly did Roxanne and Stephanie Vicaire on TV for no freaking reason, when that could have been a takeover matchup. Like, what are we doing? They booked Roxanne horribly. Let's stop that. Yes, she is talented enough to be a main eventer. Yes, she has the resume to be a main eventer and be in the title picture. But has WWE booked her to be such? Hell to the fucking no.
Remember when she beat EO? When EO was supposed to get a title shot?
For no reason. No reason.
I understand your point about not having heels on the Raw side, but you do look at the Raw side and like they already have so many women who get television time, deservedly so. I'm not saying they don't, but you have Damage Control, you have Rhea, you have Vaquer, you have Becky, you have Bayley and Lyra, you do have Judgment Day. I mean, they get TV time, whether you like their booking or not, they get a lot of TV time. You have all those women right there on Raw getting TV time. I don't know where you slot in Fatal Influence with that. SmackDown, it's the same 3 women every single week.
Definitely. Like, no, there's no question. SmackDown needs the help in the women's division. Like, SmackDown has excelled in the tag team division, but every other division has been a struggle in 2025. The men's division feels like there's a lack of main eventers. The mid card scene, they don't know who's in the mid card, who should be in the main event scene, who should be elevated, who should drop down off the card. They don't know what they're doing with their men's division, but their women's division is in a dire strait because they have been building this whole freaking WWE Women's Championship run for Tiffany Stratton, and it's amount to jack and shit. It looks great on paper, though. I'll give them credit. Tiffany Stratton's reign looks great on paper. Like, you write it down and be like, Tiffany Stratton cashed in Money in the Bank in January, went on to beat Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Trish Stratus in big time title matches. She's been featured on pay-per-view. She's been featured in main events of SmackDown. Like, it looks great on paper, but is anybody in the chat going to argue with us that Tiffany Stratton has been a great WWE women's champion, though? I don't think so.
Well, you know what time it is, SP3. It's not C-Suite time, not yet. But it is Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time! She's a one-note babyface. Like, she should not be a babyface. It's so clear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not good with this Tiffany reign, and then Julia doesn't wrestle, and when she does, it's the same Michin match that we've seen for months on end with Michin in the U.S. title picture. Bianca being hurt is unfortunate because Bianca was doing a lot of heavy lifting in the women's division for a while. And so her being out is very unfortunate, but they have people they can call up. They have people they can use. It's not good on SmackDown. Maybe we'll get some plot points moving on Friday with this triple threat match with Tiffany, Jade, and Nia, and we can move past all of this. I don't think we will.
Hope, right?
But maybe.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I took a deep breath. I was like, I don't think this is happening. Don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of faith in it either. We can get into AEW Dynamite. Since we're on the subject of the women's division, Matthew Hooks did ask us a question. How would you book AEW Women's Tag Tournament? So full disclosure for people who says Joel hates AEW, factual. I did ask for the tag team titles as the thumbnail. SP3 can attest to this.
You did.
And I got Darby Allin and The Fire. So that is Joel's fault. We can all bury Joel that it was not the tag team titles on the thumbnail, and it was Darby Allin and The Fire. It is on him, everybody.
Fair.
All right,
Very
so
fair.
Tony Khan introduced the AEW Women's Tag Team titles and then didn't really give any further details. We don't know if it's going to be a tournament.
No.
We don't know when they're going to be decided. Last time he introduced a new women's title, it took about 5 months before we got further details, so we'll see.
Before we got a bracket, and
Yeah.
and even despite getting the bracket, it's been almost a month, and we've only had one match.
Yeah. We'll see how far along this tournament moves with everything. But people are asking how we would book this. And they've got the teams for it. I think you're going to get 8 teams. I don't think you're going to 16. I think you're going to get 8 teams on this.
I can see that.
Yeah. And
see Sisters of Sin.
Okay.
Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Sky, yeah.
Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
All right.
Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. Tay J. Ty J. Let me see. Who else is in this women's division right now? Kris Statlander and Harley Cameron.
Okay.
There's Athena and Billy Starks, MIT.
All right.
I can see them being included in this. So we need 2 more teams. You have a team that you want to name?
People are saying Willow and Aminata.
No, that's the last team I got. That's the last team I got. It's not Willow and Aminata, but it's Willow.
Oh, okay. People are saying Renegade Twins. You need somebody to take some losses.
Yeah. I can see Hayter and Windsor in this. And the last team, Willow Nightingale and Beth Copeland. This tournament ain't going on until like the beginning of 2027.
Willow and Beth would actually be pretty good.
I feel like that was what was the point of her promo last night. And that was one of the best segments of the show, in my opinion. I think Willow and Beth, that was the start of that team.
Okay. I don't know if you're right on that. I would like to see
because it seemed when it first came up, like AEW Women's World Tag Team titles, like a couple of months ago, people thought, oh, okay, that's how they're probably gonna conclude and blow off the Statlander Willow drama that they've been doing for the better part of the last year. But they've gone away from that pretty much. They've gone and paired up Kris Statlander with Harley Cameron. We got the big angle we'll talk about at the end of the show with that. And they need someone for Willow. Aminata and Willow makes a lot of sense, but Aminata can also team with like any of the baby faces in the women's division because she's teamed up with basically all of them. I can see Aminata and Jamie Hayter being a tag team if we're taking that into account with their rivalry with the Triangle of Madness. But I feel like Willow and Beth, that's a big star to put in the tournament as well. I think that they can have a little bit of a deep run. So I would put them in there. Maybe a Mercedes tag team as well, but I don't know who you would pair with Mercedes.
Just Mercedes by herself, and then she can win both belts. Yeah.
Now we're thinking. Mercedes calls on Summer Rae, the old tag team partner.
Oh, what a shout that would be.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
A very deep cut. Mercedes and Summer Rae in there. It feels like Mercedes needs to get in there just for the belt collecting gimmick.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to find a partner, and no one will actually partner with her because she's such a jerk. And do you think we get
Camille?
What if Mercedes gets Britt Baker?
That'd be awesome. Give me Mercedes. I mean, the real cut would be Mercedes convincing Harley to team with her instead of Kris Statlander, but that's unfortunately not going to happen. So
that actually be good, fighting for the love of Harley Cameron. I would
love that. I would love a love triangle story where Harley is in the middle. She was great last night, by the way.
Harley Cameron rules. I was so scared for her. I was like, oh no, they're gonna kill Harley.
When the Death Riders came out, I was like, oh no, they're gonna murder Harley. They're gonna murder. She looked like a deer in headlights. She's just standing in the corner like this.
They're gonna kill poor Harley. And unfortunately, Kris Statlander said, nah, I ain't like that. Not joining up with you geeks and the Death Riders take you out, and me and Harley are gonna run off and be best friends forever. Good. Harley Cameron needs all the love, all the support, and should get all the television time as well and win all the titles. Yes. I hope Statlander and Harley just win the titles. Who cares?
I wouldn't mind that.
Give Harley the titles. That's all I'm trying to get at here.
Give me my Statlander and Harley versus Willow and Beth match.
You're on this
Harley interacting with Beth.
You're on this Willow and Beth. I don't know. I see where you're going with it. I understand the point. I just don't know if Beth is gonna do it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it sounds good.
Yeah. I did like that Willow was the one that came out to confront FTR. I was like, yeah, kick their ass, Willow. Beat them down.
That might have been the best segment. That might have been the best segment on the show. FTR. Either that or the segment that followed it.
I don't know what followed it. My memory's
MJF.
The MJF promo? Okay. I was going to say, if it was the MJF promo, that was probably my favorite segment on the show. So I didn't fully love the FTR portion of the promo. I liked Willow's portion.
Oh, I loved FTR's portion of the promo. You hit me in my nose and my eyes were watery, so I thought I was power driving your husband. And then Cash tried to stop me. He came off the second rope, tried to stop me, but I just fell onto my ass and dropped you on your micro brawler head. The only part of it that I didn't like was the CTE thing with Christian. I thought that was a little bit distasteful, but other than that, I really loved FTR's promo.
Yeah, you don't need to call attention to that. It felt a little long, the FTR stuff. Maybe it was just me. I thought the show, and this is maybe a knock on the show, I don't think the show was bad last night by any stretch. Maybe I'm just very tired. Last night's show just felt a little long to me. And again, if you didn't agree with that, no problem. But it just felt like it was not moving like it typically does. And I fully admit I have not slept well for about a week now, and so everything feels a little long to me. But usually Dynamite kind of gets by, and then last night, like the first hour especially, I looked up, I was like, it's only 9:00. Like I feel like it should be 9:30 already. The second hour went by a little bit faster, but the first hour, it seemed like it took forever to me.
I didn't have that same issue. My biggest issue with last night's show is I didn't think they did a good job of covering what happened at All Out. Like I liked the episode after All In, they did a big video package with like the main highlights from the pay-per-view. I think they even did that for following Forbidden Door, and then that was notable that they didn't do that on this show. Now I know they started off with the Hangman promo, which basically told you what happened between him and Fletcher, but I think just a big video package of video. Doesn't even have to be that long. It could be 2 minutes of like the main highlights, what happened at the show. I think that's the right way to do it, because you don't know how many people are watching your show for the first time, and you're not telling them that there was a pay-per-view. Like, so I know there's probably some people who did not watch the pay-per-view and did not know there was a pay-per-view by watching that show. If you just watch like the first 30 minutes of the show, they don't really mention it outside of Hangman's promo. Like, I think they could have done more to kind of emphasize, like, hey, this is what happened at the pay-per-view. Now here's what we got for tonight's show. I think they could have done that in the opening.
That's fair. And sometimes, their pay-per-view follow-ups isn't always the best. And I guess last night, my other kind of complaint is some stuff just felt like a downgrade coming out of the pay-per-view. Like the Statlander stuff was obviously lifted. That was very good. But Mark Briscoe beat MJF, and then he's in this trios match where the big thing is more about Orange Cassidy, which fine. I love Orange Cassidy. I have no problem with that. It felt like Mark Briscoe didn't get fully upgraded coming out of that match. I know he's about to do something with Kyle Fletcher, so I understand it's moving forward with everything, but it didn't feel like Mark Briscoe was as big of a deal as he probably should have been beating MJF. And then with Fletcher coming off that match, I thought his promo was very good. And going against Hologram, I've no problem with. I said for months Hologram deserves a title shot. The problem is they have not presented Hologram like he deserves a title shot, outside of mentioning, oh, he's been undefeated because he's just beating a bunch of people that never win anyway. And so I thought Fletcher did not feel like quite as big of a deal coming off that main event because like, I'm going to face you hologram and then he's going to face Commander on Collision. It's like, okay. Like he just challenged for the world title and now he's facing Commander who never wins and hologram who's beaten a bunch of nobodies. Like I would have liked Fletcher's presentation to be a little bit higher, or a little bit better coming out of that. And then finally, Hangman. Are we really doing Death Rider stuff again?
Like, see, you put so much into one where I really disagree with the Fletcher part of that, of what you just said. But I really agree with Briscoe and Hangman. Yeah, Briscoe. They could have done more to make that feel like that was the big defining win for him. Other than, I know commentary mentioned like he should be in line for a championship opportunity, but we needed a promo from Briscoe. We needed someone else to address that he's on the track to get an opportunity at the matchup. And then just by watching that trios matchup, it seemed like they were positioning Orange Cassidy to be involved in the unified title scene instead of Mark Briscoe, who just came off of victory over a former AEW world champion. And Hangman, I thought it was a cool thing for him to do like an open challenge against kind of a mid-carder in Lee Moriarty. Made Lee look good despite it not being like it was just a 10-minute matchup, but it made Lee look good in a short matchup, kind of having those good reversals, having a near fall against Hangman, and Hangman looked like a fighting champion defending the title after he just had a 40-minute battle at the pay-per-view. But then just putting him back into Death Rider stuff, I'm just hoping it's just for the 6th anniversary, because if you're placing Hangman back in this Death Rider story, that's a step backwards. That's not the step forward that we needed after that amazing performance at All Out. But Fletcher, I thought that was the best out of all three of those. That's the best one. That's the best follow-up, because you have to listen to what his promo is saying. His promo is saying that I lost. I had the setback that Hangman said I was. And then the following day, I realized that Hangman was right. I've never been as crushed. I've never been as low as that. But then I looked at myself in the mirror and I said that I'm going to be the greatest TNT champion of all time. So now he's doing the things that he needs to do to prove that. First thing he wants to do is beat the greatest undefeated wrestler in AEW. And he mentioned that the only reason he's 34-0 is because he hasn't faced someone like a Kyle Fletcher. So a lot of the stuff that you're kind of addressing or criticizing in regards to Hologram's presentation and all of that, I think that Kyle Fletcher's promo checked all the boxes in addressing all of that you haven't faced the toughest competition. The only reason you're like that is because you haven't faced somebody like me, but I need to take your winning streak, beat you, be the first one to beat you, to start my path of building myself up as the greatest TNT champion of all time. He's basically starting over. He's starting his path of creating this big reign that is going to prove himself ready to get back to that AEW World Championship picture. So I thought the promo, the delivery was really well done. I thought the direction was great as well, setting up this big matchup that they hyped throughout the rest of the show. So I disagree 100% with Kyle Fletcher. I really thought Kyle Fletcher's uses and booking was very well done, and his promo was very good. But I definitely agree. Yeah, Briscoe and Hangman needed to do more or something different on last night's show.
I thought Fletcher's promo was very good. And of the three, I do think he had the best presentation on there. So I can say that, but I don't have to agree that just because he's pointing out he hasn't beaten anybody important makes it any better as far as, oh, this is your next challenger. Now, I did like Fletcher's promo. I guess I just coming off of that main event, and as much as I love Hologram, like I booked Hologram to win the world title at All in Texas, and obviously that didn't happen. I'm fine with Hologram getting these title shots, and I understand why they're going with Hologram. I would have liked Hologram to pick up at least some victories to make him feel a little bit more important along the way. And just because Fletcher said, hey, you haven't beaten anybody, or you haven't beaten anybody on my level, and you're undefeated, doesn't mean that's good to me. It doesn't like elevate Hologram to, oh yeah, he hasn't beaten anybody. And I guess with Fletcher, like I was just looking for maybe a little bit more as far as who he is facing with everything. Because Hangman's top of the top, and Commander and Hologram don't quite feel on that level. Now, if Fletcher came out and kind of went after Orange Cassidy, I'm like, okay, all right, that doesn't quite feel like a step down. But I understand. I will concede that it's a step for Fletcher because it does seem like you're getting to the Mark Briscoe match. And I know that is probably the end game of things. So I can understand, all right, maybe you don't start at Orange Cassidy and you got to kind of go with Hologram and everything. I guess my whole thing is coming off of that title match against Hangman, Hologram and Commander feels like too much of a step back for me. That's all. That's all.
I disagree, but I understand where you're coming from.
Not fair. We don't have to. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't. All right. What else happened on Dynamite? Darby Allin did set fire did try to set fire to Jon Moxley. He came out with a flamethrower and then issued an I Quit match, and Jon Moxley more or less accepted it. What do you think of this ending to Dynamite?
I thought it was fine, but I have some issues. One was as soon as I think the announcement for the trios matchup for next week was made during the main event, and as soon as the announcement was made, I was like, that reminded me they did not address that Jon Moxley got set on fire on Saturday. It took me like 45, 50 minutes into the show to or an hour and 50 minutes into the show to be like, yeah, they didn't address that at all. So yeah, I was right to make my criticism that was pointless. That took away from the ending of the coffin matchup and shouldn't have happened on that show. And everything I saw last night proves me right that they shouldn't have done that. That it was useless. That it took away from the effectiveness of the ending of that coffin match where you had that feeling that you had at the end of Wrestle Dream last year where all hope was lost and that the Death Riders will always find a way to win just so Darby could set him on fire for 10 seconds. And they immediately took it out and did not even address it. They literally just mentioned it in passing on last night's show.
It's weird that they want to almost protect Darby from losing in these coffin matches. Because remember when he lost to Jack, and then they were going to set him on fire, and then Sting made the save, but Darby still kind of like got to stand tall with Sting after all that. It's like, oh, Darby lost, but he's immediately out, and he's fine, and he gets his big moment with Sting. And then with this one, oh, Darby lost, but he's out, and he's fine, and he sets Jon Moxley on fire. It's like, why? He lost a coffin match. It's okay to make him a little, quote unquote, buried for however long, for at least the next television show. And then he returns with the even more vengeance or anything. You don't have to immediately undercut your coffin match by having Darby pop out and be like, ha, see, I'm good and I'm getting my revenge.
It's just stupid. It didn't need to happen. That's the point of it as well. I'd rather have them do like a WWE 1990s angle where the Death Riders show up at the beginning of the show with the same coffin and they're still carrying them around the coffin. And then you could have done the angle on this show instead of at the pay-per-view. It took away from the effectiveness of the ending of that coffin matchup. And then you didn't even address it and didn't even do anything good to follow up on it on this show. I like the challenge. I think that Darby and Moxley can have an excellent I Quit match, but it also doesn't make sense. Like, he set him on fire, so it should probably be an Inferno match or whatever you want to call whatever your fire match is going to be. Because honestly, I think they've made the ending of this matchup at Wrestle Dream quite obvious is that Darby's going to pour gasoline on him, threaten to set him on fire. Jon Moxley says I quit, and then he still sets him on fire.
I don't think Jon Moxley's going to say I quit on just being gasolined up. I think he's going to.
I think he will.
Okay. Maybe. I think he'll just get set on fire and then maybe say I quit. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I'll have more time to think about what this finish should be. I also didn't like that they did this immediately after the Statlander thing because the Statlander thing was very hot. And it almost felt like you could have closed the show with that shot of her in the stands flipping off the Death Riders. Like, oh yeah,
Yes, you
that's
should
good.
have. Not that you could have been. You should have. You should have closed the show with that. That was the hottest point of the whole entire show. Like Kris Statlander in like 2 days, when a lot of people were asking, "Oh, did we miss the peak of Kris Statlander? Is Kris Statlander lost in the shuffle? Is there any hope for Kris Statlander?" She got a huge pop when she won the title at All Out, and then turned around and got the biggest reaction on this show. She had a good matchup with Mina Shirakawa. I thought they worked really well with one another, and her getting another win with the seatbelt made a lot of sense. And then it had a very compelling closing angle with Wheeler and the Death Riders surrounding the ring, Wheeler getting in the ring, Moxley coming out and giving her the nod of approval. So Wheeler Yuta hugs her, she hugs him back, and you're like, oh no. He raises her hand, you're like, oh no, she's in the Death Riders. Then you just see Harley in the corner, like a dog that's scared that their owner is gonna leave them out in the cold, and she turns to him, she has an arm raised, and then she blasts Wheeler, does Kris Statlander. Marina Shafir goes after her, she ducks, and then just puts the middle fingers in Moxley's face. Moxley has this big smile on his face, and then she bails through the crowd, sticks the middle finger in the crowd. That's how you close the show. I will say, I like the Darby challenge because I thought that was the one thing missing from the show, is that we didn't have a direction to go for Wrestle Dream. They set some things up, but I do think your show immediately following the last pay-per-view, you should set up one of your big matches for the next pay-per-view on that post-show. Address everything and have a good follow-up to what you did at the last pay-per-view, but you should set things in motion and at least announce one thing for the next pay-per-view. So I do like the fact that Darby came out and issued the challenge, but if I had to pick one or the other, Kris Statlander was the much hotter angle.
Yeah, I thought you could have easily closed with that, and I wouldn't have been mad if they did. It could have been, if Darby had lost the coffin match and stayed in the coffin, and then he just wasn't on the show this week, and then next week go with basically the same angle of he pops out of the coffin and then he threatens Moxley with fire and issues the I Quit match. I get your point of like, it's good to set something up for the next pay-per-view, and now everyone knows, okay, this is the big match for the next pay-per-view. You could have maybe set that up elsewhere. Not particularly that match, but doing some type of match, or setting up some type of match for Wrestle Dream, whether that's a Hangman match, whether that's a Kyle Fletcher match or a Mark Briscoe match. Like, you could have set something up elsewhere on the show for Wrestle Dream instead of the Darby and Moxley match. Based on what we did see, maybe you're doing Fletcher and Briscoe, so maybe Fletcher's promo could have at least said, Mark Briscoe, all right, you earned some respect by beating MJF. I'll see you at Wrestle Dream, but I'm also going to defend my title and beat Hologram, beat Commander. Hangman, if he's doing Death Rider stuff, I guess he's facing Claudio, Pac,
maybe Pac. But
I don't know.
I don't
know how you would have.
Why can't we just keep it with the Don Callis family? Like, I would have loved for him to beat Moriarty and then issue the challenge. Say, Wrestle Dream is coming up, and Tony Khan has given me the option to pick my own dream match for the AEW World Championship, and I want to face the man who took me to my limit, that pushed me to a different level, all the way back when I was a young boy in the Bullet Club, all the way back when I was in my first G1. I want Okada at Wrestle Dream, a unified champion versus AEW World Champion at Wrestle Dream. Something like that. That would have played out well. That would have continued the story that he has going on with the Don Callis family, and not feel like the step back that him getting back into the Death Rider vortex feels like.
I don't know about Okada. I get where you're going with that. I don't need another title versus title match. I know Okada's title wouldn't be on the line, but I don't need another champion versus champion match. Especially, I don't know if they're going to do Okada and Takeshita at Wrestle Dream, but that being,
I don't think they are
as well.
That's why. It's either Okada or Takeshita. Those are the two guys that feel like the best options to verse Hangman at the next pay-per-view.
He should have.
I don't think they're going to do that matchup, so you should put one of them in the world title match if you're not going to do that match.
I like your calling out an opponent type of thing. I can name my dream match, and then he should have sat cross-legged in the ring, and he should have said, "There's been a man who called me out years ago."
Aleister Black? That's crazy, man.
Who called me out years ago. Let's see how punk rock he actually is. And then nobody would have come out and be like, see, that's not punk rock. That's punk cowardness.
No, that's punk shit.
CM stands for coward man.
Coward man punk.
I thought when you were doing the whole thing, this would have been a total heel move, and so it wouldn't have worked. But when you were setting up like, oh, I want to face a man who pushed me to the limit, he turns to Bryan Danielson. He's like, Danielson, come on, get your neck right and get in here. Let's do it one more time. And Danielson's like, I can't. What do you want me to do?
Like, I'm retired. I'm retired.
Maybe Danielson can.
He could have said, I wanna give a shot to one of the people that helped me at All In, since Swerve and Ospreay aren't around. Darby, let's save the Darby and Moxley matchup for the next month. Let's have some space in between an I Quit and a Coffin matchup. Let's put Darby in there against Hangman at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay. Darby coming off the loss to the Coffin match, and then Hangman being like, anyway, you get this title match. Doesn't feel great, but
anyway, you're gonna have this title match.
I say MJF execute his contract. He needs a week notice, but I guess if he's out for the time being, that's not gonna happen. Maybe what could have done? Give the title shot to Mark Briscoe. Hangman's like,
he got the win, yeah.
Yeah, he got the win. Hangman's like, I got all the respect in the world for Mark. He was screwed over by MJF in the one-on-one match where his foot was on the ropes. He beat him fair and square at All Out. Mark Briscoe, you get your title match, and then you get Mark Briscoe and Hangman in a little bit of a respect type thing. Could have gone there. Good. Jeff Jarrett's the true answer.
Oh gosh, we gotta give it up with the Bree Woos. Bree Woo.
What about Chris Jericho? What if Chris Jericho?
I would have loved that. I would have been personally, but you don't do that on last night's show. You do that at All Out. It made more sense at All Out because it's in Canada. It's at the show that he beat him at 6 years ago, and Hangman never got his win back. They've only had one match in AEW.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know about when Jericho or Jarrett will return on things. What if Mercedes came out and be like, that's a nice belt you got.
I'm here to collect another one.
I'll get Mercedes and Hangman. That would have been good.
That would have been perfect. Perfection.
Yeah. This MJF promo. So MJF, this was after All Out and after his loss. MJF was reflecting and he said that I no longer see the man that I was. I see a fraud, and I'm going to go away until I no longer see that fraud. I'm going to go away until I return more dangerous, more violent. I used to be ahead of Swerve and Ospreay and Hangman and all these guys. I was way in front of them. I left them in the dust. Now I'm looking, and they're in front of me. I'm going to go away. When I return, I'll be more violent, more dangerous. I'm going to take my spot back at the top, and I'm going to do it my way. And he picked a tack out of his forearm, and he's like,
these aren't tacks. These are doubts.
Yeah.
What did I used to do with doubts? Put them in my mouth, chew them up, spit them out.
Yeah, he had a lot of doubts still in his back and ass. Because when he turned around, there was still a bunch of tacks there. So there's still some doubt there for MJF. And he's going to go away and he's going to film movies and, maybe go on a honeymoon. Who knows? but when he returns, he's going to be more violent. I thought this promo was great, mainly because, I mean, he said it at the beginning. He's like, I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. I was like, good. You don't need to. That would be, you've done that so often. I don't need to hear you yell and scream and be so upset that you have lost this match. A measured MJF is a better MJF in many situations. So please take your tone down a little bit. And I thought, I thought it was a great promo. And now when he returns, we'll see what type of MJF. Maybe he actually will set somebody on fire if he's going to be more dangerous. Maybe he won't be such a coward. We'll see when MJF returns. I know you love this promo as well.
Absolutely outstanding work by MJF. Like you said, this was a measured MJF, a very focused on what he wanted to basically get across, the message that he wanted to get across here. I like him going through where this whole decline or downfall for him started, like when he was on top of the world as AEW World Champion. But he became friends with Adam Cole. Adam Cole got hurt, and everything started to fall apart. Adam Cole stabbed him in his back, broke his heart. He came back. He's faced, Will Ospreay and all these other people, but he just hasn't felt like himself. He hasn't seen that guy, the guy that got to the top, the guy that could be considered the best in the world. He hasn't seen that guy in a very long time, and it's about damn time that he's honest about it. And I love this. This felt like a very self-reflective MJF, which is not an MJF that we get very often. We get measured MJF quite, a few times in certain feuds. We'll give you a more measured MJF, but as far as reflective, we haven't got like that type of MJF reflective promo. Sometimes he'll reflect on stuff from the past, but reflective in regards to what was wrong, why he hasn't been able to get the success that he's had in the past. This was just so well done. The inflection, the cadence, the delivery by MJF, the look in his eyes. I thought that this was paced very well with everything that he was saying. This was one of the best promos that you will see from MJF all year. And I'm saying that after I've praised it, his promo about leaving his wife on their wedding night. Like, I feel like MJF has kind of found his bag, and I feel like MJF does in fact watch In the Weeds, and he heard his arch nemesis Jeremy Lambert talking shit, saying that he's a better in-ring performer than a mic worker, and he just went out there and knocked it out the park. He said, "You shouldn't have been talking shit, Mark."
I mean, I still think he's a better in-ring performer than he is on the mic. I'm glad he did something different on the mic this time and didn't go so low-hanging fruit, because he's not building up a feud, so we can't. I guess he took shots at himself and talking about the doubt and everything. So, no, good. If I've helped MJF raise his game, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. It's another notch on my belt. I've helped a lot of wrestlers raise their game with my comments. We know he knows we exist in some sort of weird way, because he replied to me and called me a pussy that one time because of my clickbait headline to try to get him to reply. So yeah, we know he exists, or we know he knows we exist in some way. So yeah. People keep talking about the cope and stepping away and doing the edge retirement, returning as Edge for the Cena retirement. We talked about it, guys. It's not happening.
Not happening.
Cope is still. I don't think our chat is like saying like, "Oh, guys, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." Our chat's mainly just referencing that. Like, I've seen people talking about this. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen people talking about it as well. And Cope's contract is not up for another year. Even if Tony did allow him to do it, I don't think WWE wants him in there to do it. And I don't even know. Again, I don't know if Tony would even allow it. I'm sure he would, but Tony also is like, why am I gonna help? Why am I gonna help them out with?
If he didn't let Sting induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame, he ain't letting Cope.
We don't know if he didn't let Sting, though.
Yeah, they never asked. That's what I said. Like, WWE's not going to ask to have cope. So
Yeah.
like, what are we talking about here? It's so dumb. Like I feel like it's just so. Oh, this is how you should respond to anyone who is seriously thinking that Cope is going to WWE. You don't reply. You look at the post. You go, haha, you're stupid, and you keep scrolling.
You know what WWE should do? I'm not bullshitting here either until you hear the answer, and then you're like, yeah, that's bullshit. They should tease Edge. They should tease him for maybe the MSG show. All right. So I think the Boston show's first. Whatever. Boston first, MSG first. Whichever one's first, you do it at the second show. Okay. So the Boston show, you tease it. You say, guys, next week MSG, I know who's going to be there. And I'm going to throw him over the edge. You make a lot of Edge references, right? And then on the MSG show, we hear, yeah, Matarango, number 95. And out comes Edge. Because they have the trademark, Edge. But it's Matt Cardona. And Matt Cardona wrestles John Cena as Edge. And they call him Edge. This is 100% not Diesel and Razor all over again.
No.
It's not that at all.
See, you're not being clever enough. It's not like Diesel and Razor at all. Because Matt Cardona will not be called Edge. He will be called first name Edge, last name Head. Edgehead. That's what he was. That's what he was originally. He's Edge.
But now he's Edge.
You call him Edge, Head. Edge, pause, Head.
You just use Edge. You got the trademark. Just use Edge to really piss people off and edgy. Really rub it in. Good. WWE doesn't care. Just use the trademark. That's what they try to do with Diesel and Razor.
I know. Let's not do bad angles from 30 years ago.
That angle ruled. People think it was bad.
Sucked.
Angle ruled.
It sucked. If Jeremy Lambert is telling you an angle ruled, it most likely was really bad.
Wow.
Yes.
How dare you? How dare you? I think that started at like Mind Games. We watched Mind Games, like the full pay-per-view, or whatever, wherever it started at. We rewatched that pay-per-view where they throw to the back and they're like, "Oh, we got a situation in the back," and it's Diesel and Razor beating up somebody, and they're like, "Is that Diesel?"
I think it started Razor? Weeks before, because it's like I think it's Jim Ross who says,
"Okay,
I have news." He's out the commentary derby. He's like, "I have news. I have it on good authority that Diesel and Razor Ramon are heading back to WWE."
Yeah, and this was the first pay-per-view where they like appeared and they were beating somebody up backstage. Like, is that Diesel? Is that Razor? Oh my God, what's going on? It's like, yeah, this is that good shit right here.
Such good shit. All the while, the other company is doing basically the same thing, but with one of the guys they currently have under contract, because that was around the time they introduced fake Sting.
Yeah.
NWO Sting.
Yeah, but at least they had real Sting still under contract. So
yes.
At least they could pay that off.
Dude, I remember being 8 years old, being heartbroken over the NWO Sting. When the Sting with the jacket attacks Luger in the rain. I remember 8-year-old SP3 was livid. I was like, Sting? How can Sting do this?
I was the same way. I was like, no, not Sting. What are you doing?
Not Sting.
What are you doing, Sting?
Then when he comes to Team WCW at Fall Brawl, and he's like, it wasn't me. I was like, you know what? I believe you. Y'all should believe him. And then Lex Luger's like, nah. I was like, he lost his best friend. How could y'all do this to him? And then he comes back, he washes the whole NWO. I remember being so vindicated. I was like, yes, I was right. But don't leave. Where you going? He just leaves right after.
He beat the shit out of all of them. I was like, hell yeah, Sting's back. And then he just walks out. It's like, no, come on, Sting. No. I was also like, yeah, you should have believed him, you jerks. Why would Sting ever turn his back on you guys?
Oh man! And I love the
Conflictions of
promo.
Sting.
I love the promo the next night on Nitro. You can stick it. He said it like it was a curse word. Stick it. Oh my god! I can't believe he said that.
The man, literally the man they call Sting, rules.
Man, they call Sting.
So anyway, Edge. They need to use a fake Edge for WWE to bring back for John Cena and Cope, since Cope is not actually coming back. It's not actually happening, folks. Sorry to everybody who might be disappointed that wants to see Cena and Edge one last time. I don't know if that match would be any good either.
Probably not. I mean,
Cope's gonna request like I got to kick out of like 5 AAs and then you lose to one spear.
Cope still hasn't had a great match this year.
He hadn't had too many matches this year.
No,
the
but I don't think none of them have been great.
The Moxley
that was
no
good.
DQ, yeah.
Yeah, the Spike match that was good.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't think he's had a great match yet this year.
Fair.
I thought the Dynasty Trios matchup was really good too. I thought even the FTR match at All Out was good. I don't think he's had like that level, like a great match yet in this comeback. Whereas Cena's had 2 great matches.
Yeah, Cardona is 100%. Somebody clip this to Cardona. He's definitely like, did you see this guy's idea? This sounds great right here. He's got to present it as his own, not his mine. But he's like, yo, this sounds like a great idea. Did you hear that pop I got on NXT? Bring me back for this. Imagine the reaction I get. Be fantastic. It's not gonna happen, folks. It's not gonna happen, folks. Cope's not coming back to WWE. They might do Cardona as Edge, maybe. I don't put anything past this company at this point.
Ryan just following in the family footsteps, saying Cope hasn't had a good match in like 20 years.
Facts.
That's ridiculous.
Factual.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Ridiculousness. You literally were just saying the Mox match was good. What are you talking about?
I had to lie. Wrestlers lie.
You're not a wrestler, sir. You're a booker.
I'm a worker, though. I'm a worker. Workers lie.
Don't believe you. You need more people.
Make it a YouTube short. He'll vanity search his name. Cardona. And Cope.
Let's do a blind ranking of Cope rivals.
Of Cope rivals? Okay.
Cope rivals.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all know the deal. 1 through 5. 1's first place. 5 is last place. Everything in between.
He doesn't have that many great rivals.
He does.
Okay.
The Hardys.
5.
Wow. That's outrageous. That's so outrageous. I can't even fault you, but that is so outrageous. He said 5. The Undertaker.
6.
Oh, come on. All right. This guy over here, you're not going to take me seriously. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to play anymore.
All right. The Hardys, I will go legitimately.
No, you already put them 5. We're on Taker. You're already done. You decided to play. Now you got to keep it.
All right, then Taker 6.
No. That's 1 through 5. You have to pick numbers 1 through 5. I say, what's 4 plus 4? You can't say octagon. Like, what the hell? Like, what are we talking about?
It's factually correct.
Say a number.
6.
Say a number 1 through 5.
4.
Taker at 4. Okay, we'll just go with that. Batista.
1.
Wow. Rey Mysterio.
2.
And number 3, John Cena. So Jeremy's blind ranking of Cope rivals is 1 Batista, 2 Rey Mysterio, 3 John Cena, 4 The Undertaker, 5 The Hardys.
I feel good about that list.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel good about that. I would flip Hardys and Undertaker, and then I would also flip Cena and Rey. But Batista's still number 1.
Yeah. Cool. And by the way, how blind rankings work is I come up with 5 names to tell Jeremy, and he chooses where he wants them to rank. So if I didn't name one of those names, it does not mean they're not one of Cope's greatest rival. It just means I did not say the name. So I don't know why we're getting this name question mark in the chat. Like they weren't included. So
how could you not put Aleister Black on the list? No Malachi Black, SP3. How dare you?
And no. Jose saying take the Hardys out. That's more of a Edge and Christian rivalry. No, Edge feuded with Matt Hardy over Lita. He feuded with Jeff Hardy over the World Heavyweight Championship. If you ask me who is Roman Reigns' greatest rival, I'm not going to say Seth Rollins. I'm not going to say Dean Ambrose. I'm not going to say Triple H or John Cena or anybody. I'm going to say his family. So you can group. Yes, his family is his greatest rival. That's Roman Reigns' greatest rival. And to me, Edge's greatest rival is the Hardys. Even more than John Cena, it's the Hardys. He's feuded with them as a tag team, as singles, over world titles, over women. Like, no, it's obviously the Hardys are number
5.
And that's what I was like, this guy's not taking me serious.
Now, I see where you're going with Hardy's being number 1. Honestly, I understand that. I respect that as Hardy's number 1. Yeah, Roman Reigns' greatest rival is Suffering Succotash. That's his greatest rival.
Vince McMahon booking. That's his greatest
rival. I was legitimately gonna say Vince McMahon's booking. That's his true greatest rival. Or Buddy Matthews, because he pushed over that thing on him. That was a thing that actually happened on this show. Folks, I don't know where Vinny Pacifico is. Maybe he'll show up at some point. We'll see. If not, I don't know. Maybe he'll show up tomorrow, and we shall see. Vinny's a busy man. He's a busy man.
He's always doing something. Yeah. Just like if it's another. I could come up with a couple of these. That's like it's a group. Like that's why that was like Jose. You usually have good comments in the chat. I'm disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed. Saying take the Hardys out. Like take the number 1 option out because that's Edge and Christian rivalry. They feuded with them for like 2 years. He feuded with the Hardys for another 10 years after that. What are you talking about? Like if you don't know, don't say anything. That's what I want y'all. Like, I want wrestling fans to learn that. If y'all don't know something, don't try to correct the person who does know something. Like, just don't say anything at all. Just I'm gonna tap out of this topic because I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I've never seen a wrestling fan do that in their ever-loving life. Like, I've never seen a wrestling fan be like, I'm not going to give my opinion because I haven't watched that one. No, I'm still going to give my opinion, and I'm going to act like my opinion is the fact, and your opinion is wrong. That's how most 95% of wrestling fans act like. Including myself. I'm saying, I'm criticizing myself. I do that shit all the time. But at least I watch most of the stuff I'm talking about. Y'all don't even watch it and want to correct me.
You really mean to Jose. Don't be mean to Jose.
I just used him as an example. It wasn't directly at. That's what I meant, a generalization.
I think you need to apologize to Jose.
That's a good thought.
Wow.
What? I said that's a good thought. You said you think. That's a good thought.
Wow. Can't believe you. I'm sorry. On the behalf of everybody here at In the Weeds, I am sorry, Jose. Yeah, SP3 is very spicy today. Everything good?
That's a good response. I should have said that, Joel. I should have said, no way, Jose.
SP3 is all fired up because Evolve announced a special. So SP3 is like, yeah, Evolve's finally getting its time.
They announced a special. It's still going to be 1 hour. It's not special. It's not special. Like, I was like, you're announcing a special. So you should at least say, oh, it's going to be 2 hours for Secession. No, it's still going to be 1 hour. It's still going to be 1 hour. And no, K Wheeler, I'm not mad that Becky isn't talking about me. She actually mentioned me before Bleacher Report, so no, she's still talking about me. So
yeah, he's still being talked about. I think SP3 is fine. Yeah,
I'm mad that I had to listen to wrestling fans' opinions all week. That's what I'm mad about.
You don't have to. You can just not.
You're right. I should.
I got to see wrestling fans and personalities just tweet through it. That's the real advice. Wrestling fans fall. Just tweet through it. Just keep on tweeting. It'll be okay.
Keep on tweeting. Yeah. Keep on tweeting.
Everything is solved if you just tweet through it. Just stop tweeting, everyone. Just please stop tweeting. It'll be okay.
I think that's probably why I'm upset. Xeno Hour, Joe Hendry, greater than ZSJ to the PWI 500.
All right, what is the ESPN basketball list? I keep seeing. I think Jose's mentioning it. All right, let's see it. Let's pull this up. I saw the top 20 through whatever. All right, ranking the 10 best players for the NBA this season. All right, you ready, SP3? I'm gonna count this down for you. All right.
Yeah, who's 10?
Number 10, Jalen Brunson.
Okay, I could see that being an argument. It's a wrong argument, but I could see the argument.
All right, number 9, Kevin Durant. The same ranking he had last year, by the way. Jalen Brunson was number 12 last year. He's number 10 this year.
Okay.
All right. Kevin Durant, number 9. Number 8, falling one spot, LeBron James.
Okay. Everything seems fair so far.
Number 7, falling one spot, Steph Curry.
I figured that. I figured they would have Steph, KD, and LeBron right next to each other. So this all makes sense so far.
Number 6, going up 4 spots. He was number 10 last year, Anthony Edwards.
Makes sense. He should be top 5, honestly.
Well, number 5, going up from number 11, Victor Wembanyama.
That is some 2K projection right there. Yeah. Top 5? Really? Let him do that. Let him have a top 10 year. And then you could say he's top 5 going into a season. But to have him have a great first half or first quarter of the season and then he gets injured for the rest of the year and then you're giving him number 5, that seems a little bit much.
Number 4, falling one spot, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay, so I'm guessing the top 3, Shea, Jokic, and I'm blanking on the third because I would put Giannis third.
He's on your team.
Oh, we put Luka top 3? Yeah. Let's go.
He did fall one spot. He was number 2 last year. He's number 3 this year. Number 2, moving up 2 spots, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jokic remains number 1.
Tyrese Halliburton's not playing this season. Is he an hour?
Yeah, Halliburton can't. I'm not even sure if he was ranked, honestly, because he's not playing. So I can't fault them for not putting Halliburton, considering he's not going to play.
K Wheeler says Anthony is not a better player than KD, Braun, or Curry. Now ask yourself, who would you depend on to play in the next 82 games and potentially 20 more games in the playoffs? 23, 24-year-old Anthony Edwards, or 41-year-old LeBron James, 38-year-old Kevin Durant, or 37-year-old Steph Curry? I don't know about you, but I'll take Anthony Edwards, and I would rank Anthony Edwards above all three of those guys because I'll take Anthony Edwards before all three of those guys in the year of our Lord 2025. Will I take them all time? No, but we're talking about 2025, 2026 season. We're not talking about anything else.
Yeah. I'm with you with taking Anthony Edwards over those guys. So, I mean, it's based on last season / clearly expectations for this season, because otherwise, Wemby shouldn't be top 5. No. Even though, like, I think by the end of the season he definitely could be top 5, but he's got to prove, as SP3 said, he's got to prove he can stay healthy. He's got to do it over the course of a season. And we got to see actual impact. I mean, the Spurs still haven't been good. They got a team this year. They got De'Aaron Fox. They got Dylan Harper. So they've got, good players who can hopefully maximize him and make him better, along with Castle, reigning Rookie of the Year. So we'll see with Wemby. I mean, I would 100% look. If I'm doing like a fantasy draft and I'm long-term, Wemby's the top pick. I don't care. I know I'm getting max value out of that. But for one season, I mean, I understand why you put him top 10 because you're banking on a lot of things. But if you're just basing it off of what he's accomplished and ranking them, you can't quite be top 5 because as good as, he has looked, he hasn't quite accomplished anything.
Yeah, like I think I wouldn't have said anything if he's like 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. If he's in the top 10, I don't have an issue like that. Yeah, I would definitely say he's going to be a top 10 player this coming year if he's healthy. But because he wasn't healthy last season, I don't know how you could put him top 5, especially him over Anthony Edwards after what he was able to accomplish last year during the season, becoming one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. He's arguably up there in regards to like guys that can be potential faces of the league. But like it would be those two, probably those two in Luka, Shea, or like the 4 guys that you would say these are the guys that are going to be the faces of the league for the next decade. Those would be the guys that would be up there. But I feel like Anthony Edwards, Luka, Shea have all accomplished more, and I would say will have a better season next year. Like I have the confidence enough to say that. In regards to Wemby, I just want to be confident enough to say he's going to be around for 70 to 75 games. That's all I want.
Okay, Will, like you got to factor health in all of this. Like if we're talking about a full season, you've got to factor health in this. Edwards looks like he gets hurt every other week, and then all of a sudden he's still playing the next game. Steph missed the most important games of the season for his team last year. Durant missed games, didn't even make the playoffs last year. LeBron has stayed relatively healthy his full year, but I also think at this point LeBron is the least impactful of the three. It's not to say LeBron's bad, but he's the least impactful.
And if you take into account the last 2 playoffs, he's beaten all 3 of those guys. Now, you could say, "Oh, Steph wasn't around for his," but he's beaten all 3 of those teams in the last two playoffs. So that's another reason I would give him the nod just above those guys.
Yeah. I maybe take LeBron over Durant. Honestly, I understand that ranking.
Yeah, I understand the. I will probably take. Yeah, I'll take Durant over LeBron. I would take Durant over LeBron. With this team, I would take just looking at both of their teams going into next season, I would take Durant over LeBron.
Okay. Durant,
I feel like Durant's the best. There's no question at this point. Durant's the best player on his team. LeBron, there's no question. He's not the best player on his team anymore.
It's not LeBron's fault though.
No, it's not LeBron's fault. No, it's not. He's dropped down from an easy top 5 player to a fringe top 10 player. Like, that's the only decrease in his abilities that has gone. Like, to be at age 41, where I think we've only seen like one or two other players in NBA history play at the age of 41, and no one's ever played like this. Like I said it last year during the regular season, and I will keep repeating it. We will never see a 40-year-old athlete play as well as LeBron James. I don't care what the sport is.
Well, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is still winning Super Bowls.
This is true. This is true.
Tom Brady was still winning Super Bowls into his mid-40s even. So, Brady's still a tough act to follow.
I'm still taking LeBron.
Okay. All right.
I'm talking about what they have to do in their sport, what they have to do on the field or the court. I feel like LeBron is the better athlete of the two. Tom Brady is a better winner. He's always going to be a better winner, and he had a better team than LeBron has had in his 40s. But I feel like LeBron does a lot more than what Brady was doing, despite him winning championships.
It's not like the Bucks were some powerhouse before they got Brady.
No, they weren't. Brady was the key factor that made them a Super Bowl team.
LeBron's had good teams too, though.
In his 40s?
Yeah, every year everyone's like, the Lakers are great. The Lakers are great. And
they weren't saying that going into last season. That was his first 40-year-old season, and we got the miraculous trade, but we didn't have enough time to put it together. And then going into this season, no one's saying that the Lakers are going to be even in the Western Conference Finals. They're not saying we're in that bubble of like the top teams in the West. Like Buccaneers were projected to win the NFC when the minute they got Tom Brady put them over the top. They already had a very good defense that got better with Brady, just basically because Brady would give them the lead most of the time, and they just had to play defense with the lead. So, yeah, I would take the Bucks with Tom Brady over the Lakers team with LeBron James.
Brady joined a team that was 5-11, 5-11, 7-9. They were not a playoff team.
I never said that.
I know, but I'm making a point here that like he was the reason for that turnaround. LeBron's been on good teams, had good players next to him, and now he's playing with a top 3 player. Like the Bucks were not good at all when Tom Brady went to that team. He really influenced how they won and how they shifted things. I understand your point about the athlete part as far as LeBron has to do more athletic things than Tom Brady as a quarterback. Because Brady, admittedly, like he still had the arm strength and he could still move around enough, but a lot of it was he was just smarter than everybody. He knew exactly how to read the game. He knew where to put guys. He knew what to call and everything. But he also just took care of his body, and he could still absorb hits when he got hits, and he still had to make all the throws that he had to make. LeBron, basketball players, at least in LeBron's position, got to do a little bit more as far as athleticism goes. Brady was also doing this like 43, 44. We'll see what LeBron's able to do if he plays that long. I don't know if he's going to play that long.
I think he's got 2 more seasons tops.
No.
And that includes this season.
All right. And,
I think he plays into 2027 at the best.
Yeah, they had Jameis Winston at quarterback before Tom Brady. Just giving them no chance.
No doubt. He made them a Super Bowl team. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that LeBron James is a better athlete at 40 than Tom Brady.
Okay. I think that's sport dependent more than anything. Because Alex Ovechkin.
I'm probably also saying you can basically make the correlation I'm saying that a wing basketball player is more athletic than a pocket quarterback. I think I'm not saying anything crazy. I think I'm just saying factual evidence that is true.
I mean, Alex Ovechkin's going to be 40 this season. He's still playing hockey at a high level. And I hope he continues to play hockey at a high level. He scored 44 goals last year, broke the all-time record for goals. So, Alex Ovechkin is a top-tier athlete going into his 40s as well. Gronk might have been retired for 2 years, but you can't take away the chemistry he had with Brady. Like, you weren't getting prime Gronk on those Tampa teams, but you were getting just someone who knew Brady and who Brady could count on. Antonio Brown was Antonio Brown. He was still a good receiver. Mike Evans was a great receiver, still a great receiver. Like they had weapons, and their defense was very good as well. But I mean, that wasn't a good team before he joined. I just listed you their record. Yeah. They were in the NFC South, which has historically been a not great division, and they couldn't even win in the NFC South until Brady came along. And they won consistently. Super Bowl, playoffs, and they almost made it, back to championship games with them. Yeah. Brady was still playing at a very high level.
I think what y'all are arguing is that Brady had more intangibles at 40 than LeBron does. What I'm arguing is that LeBron is a better athlete at 40 than Tom Brady.
I know.
Yeah, nothing. I think there's two different things.
Oh, I agree with you on the athlete part. I'm bigging up Tom Brady because it was kind of miraculous what he was doing.
Oh, no, it was. It was.
45 years old.
Everybody counted Tom Brady out when he left New England. Like, everybody was just like, oh, he's just going to go out like Joe Montana did. He's just going to go out and be on some losing teams on his way out. Nope, he did not do that. He confirmed that he is the GOAT. That's what he did.
Yeah. Well, the Lakers got 2 top 8 players, so I don't know why people don't expect them to, make the finals with 2 top 8 players on their team.
I mean, it's because that's all we have. That's all we have.
Where's Austin Reeves? Austin Reeves has got to be, ESPN ranked him high.
He was probably top 40.
Is Austin Reeves a top 40 player? Objectively, is he a top 40 player?
Can you name 40 players better than Austin Reeves? I don't know if I could play. I think Austin Reeves the best third option in the NBA.
The best third option in the NBA? He did not make top 40, by the way. He didn't even make top 50. All right. Fair play.
Look at that. Disrespect.
Fair play to ESPN not putting him in the top 50. Where did Austin Reeves? Best third option in the NBA? I don't know if you've seen the new Big Three. Austin Reeves was number 60, by the way. I don't know if you've seen the new Big Three in Phoenix with Devin Booker, Jalen Green,
I saw that
and Dylan
picture.
Brooks.
Oh my God. I was like, wait, why did they write Big Three? Like, what?
Imagine having a Big Three and Dylan Brooks is the third guy. What?
He's the third guy.
Dude, OKC has a Big Five then, because Dylan Brooks is the equivalent of Lou Dort, and no one's like, yeah, Lou Dort is part of the OKC Big Three.
Best fifth option in the NBA. They don't even say that shit. Like, no one even talks about fifth options.
Dylan Brooks is a Big Three. Get the fuck out of here. That had to be a trolling for engagement stuff right there. There's no way. No way anybody believed that.
Very generous.
Right, Austin Reeves is a third option? Best third option?
Yeah. Based on last season, I don't think there's I don't even know why this is even being questioned.
What do you mean?
He was the best third option last year.
I mean, I can think of a really good third option who won an NBA championship.
But Chet was as good as Austin Reeves last year?
Chet's not the third option.
Who's the third option?
Dub's the third option.
J-Dub?
Yeah.
Dub is the second option. What are we talking about?
Well, Dub's the third option. Shay's the second option.
All right.
Alex Caruso's the first option.
I'm not gonna do this with you. I'm not gonna do this with you. And no, Chet Holmgren was not better than Austin Reeves last year. Chet Holmgren averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block, 49% from the field, two assists. While Austin Reeves averaged 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 46% from the field, 38% from 3. Like, yeah, he was the best third option in the NBA.
I'm glad you named stats that affect one part of the game there and not what Chet Holmgren did defensively.
I said 1 block a game.
Yeah, I don't care about his counting 1 block a game. I mean, Chet was hurt for a good chunk of the season. Yes. So
also why he's not the best third option.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know. One guy's got an NBA championship last year, so.
Okay. Why are you bringing up championships when I'm just saying player A was better than player B last year?
I don't think Austin Reeves was better.
What their team did has nothing to do with what one player did better than the other player.
Because I don't think Austin Reeves was a better player than Chet. I don't think he was a more impactful player than Chet was last year.
I do.
Austin Reeves had no impact when it actually mattered. None. Chet did. What did Austin Reeves do in the playoffs?
I mean, not a lot of Lakers did anything in the playoffs. To be fair.
Well, maybe if their third option performed a little bit better, they would have done better.
Maybe you're right. But
if the best third option in the NBA couldn't do anything, then how good is he?
Disrespectful.
I like Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is a very good player.
You've been disrespectful to Austin Reeves for the longest, but it's.
I don't think that he's the best third option in the NBA. I would take going into this season. I would take Chet. I would take Dylan Brooks.
See, this is why I can't take you seriously. I can't take you seriously because you say stuff like that.
I would take Sengun over Austin Reeves as the third option. I'm talking about going into this season. You're taking Austin Reeves over Sengun? Sengun is a strong third option.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I didn't say he wasn't. That's why I actually thought about it a little bit too.
Okay. All right. Evan Mobley, that's a good shout as the third option.
Isn't Evan Mobley like the second option for Cleveland? Darius Garland. Don't say Darius Garland.
You think it's Garland?
His jump shot was way too inconsistent. Evan Mobley. I watched a lot of Cleveland Cavaliers games. Evan Mobley was the second option.
Okay. I might take Garland over Austin Reeves.
I'm not taking Garland over Austin Reeves.
Desmond Bane for Orlando. I think he's going to have a strong year as a third option.
We'll see. We'll see if he can improve their offense.
Paul George. I wouldn't take Paul George. No.
Yeah, no one's taking Paul George. No.
Zeno, I was asking, would you rather have Austin Reeves or a healthy Tyler Hero? That's a question for you.
Austin Reeves.
Okay.
Spell his name right. It's an A, not an E, not 2 E's. It's an A.
I think the
A before
issue,
E. A before V.
I think the issue with Austin Reeves, and it's not his fault, he's on a team that already has 2 ball-dominant scorers.
Yeah.
And so his third option impactfulness isn't as great as someone like an Evan Mobley or a Chet or a Desmond Bane. Because I think Desmond Bane because he's a third option behind Paulo and Franz, but he's kind of the only guy that has that shot creation and playmaking ability and defensiveness from that position for Orlando. Austin Reeves is almost redundant when it comes to the Lakers. And that's why Tyler Hero is just kind of the same thing. It's like, all right, he's a guy who can score. Tyler Hero's gotten better as a playmaker, doesn't offer a ton on defense. Like I would feel more comfortable as a third option if let's say you traded Chet for Austin Reeves. OKC would never do that. But then you would really see like the impact of. I mean, you already see the impact of Chet, but it would be even more so. Like there would be no debate on this. If Chet was on the Lakers, would you say he would be the best third option over Austin Reeves? If you put Reeves on the Thunder, where they already have Shea and Dub, would you still say Reeves is the best third option in the NBA?
No, then Chet Holmgren would be the best third option in the NBA.
Okay.
If you wear purple and gold, you're probably the best at something.
He's the best player named Austin in the NBA.
Austin, best player named Reeves.
Austin Rivers is fucked. He's not in the league anymore. But no, Austin Reeves isn't coming to the Thunder. That's not happening. We're good. We're good.
He's actually more effective when he has the ball. Austin Reeves, when LeBron actually plays off the ball, and Austin Reeves can create shots for him. That's when he's most effective. But he doesn't get a lot of those opportunities.
Yeah, that's why it's again kind of a redundant thing with them. I would like to see, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen, what Reeves does on his own. I think he's a very strong third option, mind you. I don't think that he's bad at all, but his impactfulness on that team isn't quite the same as other third options on other teams. That's my whole standing on things. Norman Powell would be a great third option for any team. Norman Powell always scares me. I swear he never misses against the Thunder. Never. Can we get Austin Reeves on this show? Maybe.
Sure we can. He would love to talk about pro wrestling.
You think so?
Yeah. We'd love it.
Derek White, a great third. Derek White is a strong third option.
He's a strong third option. He's not better than Austin Reeves, but strong third option.
Do I need to look at Derek White's numbers and see?
You can do that.
He gives you defense as well.
Yeah, he's a better defensive player for sure.
Yeah, Derek White's good. He's not really the third option this year though. That's the thing. He's gonna kind of be thrust into second option duties with Tatum out. So he averaged 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 38% from three, 44% from the field, on top of defense. As far as third option goes, Derek White's good.
He's really good. Yeah. Really good third option there.
Ace Austin. How would he do?
Ace Austin. What would be his numbers?
Yeah, that would be something with Ace Austin. All right. What time is it, SP3?
It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite. The C-suite. It's time for the C-suite, where we watch C-level WWE shows in the C-suite. This week, you got WWE LFG, second week of the playoffs. Unfortunately, we've been duped. We've been duped, ladies and gentlemen, because we started off this episode with the two male members of Team Undertaker doing battle. Shiloh Hill versus Drake Monroe. Drake Monroe had a fabulous performance, probably his best performance of either season of LFG, putting together his character work and his wrestling into the matchup, outperformed Shiloh Hill. Unfortunately, like I've been telling y'all every single week on the C-Suite for season 2, it's been quite obvious Undertaker was picking Shiloh Hill regardless of how he performed, because he made it to the finals last year. So, unfortunately, despite every judge acknowledging that Drake Monroe had a better performance than Shiloh Hill moved on for Team Undertaker, but they left us with a little bit of a cliffhanger, Jeremy, where we saw when Drake Monroe was asked to go away, we saw a confessional from Bubba Ray Dudley, who said that Drake Monroe finally put it all together. He finally did what I wanted him to do when he was on my team. I wanted him to put together sports entertainment and the wrestling together, and he did it here. He should be moving on to the playoffs, but maybe there is a way. And we see Bubba Ray get up from his seat, but then it cuts away, and it never acknowledges that until later on. More on that in a bit. Then you get Team McCool. You had Anthony Luke versus Trill London. Trill London once again looked great in the matchup. This was probably the most even of the matchups that we had on this episode, where Trill London, he does all his stuff very well. The whole Hardy tribute act that Trill London does is hilarious, but I do enjoy it. He does the swanton, he does the whisper in the wind, he can do all this other stuff. But Anthony Luke, he just gets the basics down, and his footwork is really, really, really good. I think it's the best out of everybody on LFG in either season. Anthony Luke, he just got the basics down. Everything is textbook what he does in the ring. So he was chosen for Team McCool over Trill London. Trill London is not down on himself. He knows that he did well this season, and he's going to come back for more in the future. And then finally, yeah, Team Booker, which was Kris Island going up against Harlem Lewis. Very physical matchup. Both men apparently don't like each other. Kris Island, he does come off like he tries a little too hard and that he's a little bit too sensitive. Like whenever the judges criticize him, he looked like he on the verge of crying. Whereas Harlem Lewis, he's just tough as nails. He's hard nosed. He's had the little bit of a run on Evolve before he came here, but he seems like the most motivated in this season. They had a pretty decent matchup themselves. In the end, though, Booker picked Harlem Lewis. He just felt like Harlem Lewis gives him the best chance to move on in the LFG in the playoffs. So that's why he went with Harlem Lewis. And then finally, we were supposed to have Sexy BJ Ray versus Elijah Holyfield. And apparently Elijah Holyfield, he's been out with injury the last couple of weeks, and apparently he's not healthy enough to return. So it looked like Bubba Ray was just going to be forced to have to deal with Sexy BJ Ray. But Bubba Ray had a plan, apparently. Bubba Ray basically tells Elijah Holyfield to go out there and that BJ Ray is going to cut a promo on him, but Bubba says he's going to have him exactly where he wants him. The only problem with all of this that they did with BJ Ray and Bubba Ray on this show, oh my God, everything felt like so scripted. Everything felt so like, I know LFG is a scripted reality show. I'm not oblivious to the fact, folks. But everything that Bubba and BJ did on this show was so scripted, it's not even funny. First, it's Bubba grabbing BJ after BJ cuts a promo on him when he's supposed to be meeting with the people on his team. He grabs him by the arm and he's like, BJ, I told you I wouldn't do this, but I'll see you out there. And BJ's like, okay. And he walks away. I was like, that came off so fake. And then BJ comes out. He cuts a promo on Elijah. He says that, Bubba Ray's been glazing him the whole season, but now he's got to go with him. So he wants the referee to just raise his hand and announce him the winner, and that Elijah is a disgrace to his father's name, and got some heat for it too. He got a good promo on him, good heel promo. But Bubba gets on the mic and he says that, no, BJ, you will be wrestling a match tonight. And he introduces his opponent. It's Drake Monroe. Jake Monroe gets another chance. I was like, he literally got eliminated. What are we doing? You got Drake Monroe comes out. BJ gets distracted by Bubba partying in the crowd with the fans. He gets rolled up in a second. He gets rolled up as soon as the bell rings. He loses the matchup. Then post-match, Zena Sterling comes out. She starts beating up BJ. Bubba Ray gets in the ring. They give BJ the what's up headbutt to the balls. Then they say, Zena, Drake, Bubba, 1, 2, 3, get the tables. They set up a table in the ring. They give him a flapjack through the table. And then we're just told that Jake Monroe moved on for Team Bubba. What the fuck are we doing? Is there no rules to this show?
No.
I can't believe they did this to BJ. I can't believe they did this to BJ. I can't believe BJ, he got robbed. He got robbed, y'all.
SP3, the one person out here. SP3, the one person out here to defend BJ Ray.
BJ deserved better. He deserved better than this. He deserves to be in the playoffs, in the semifinals. He got screwed over. Jake Monroe, moving on. This is one time I will say Zeno Hour is right. The one time in his life, he's right. Justice for a sexy BJ Ray. I agree. All right, but then over on Evolve, it was a much easier show to get through emotionally. I didn't have to go through any emotional trauma like I had to do watching what they did to BJ Ray. Evolve was a little bit simpler of a show. They started off the show announcing that they are doing their first special, not live special, Jeremy. They made sure to not say live special, but a special. It's a special. Like, what is the difference between a special episode of Evolve and a regular episode of Evolve? It gets a name. Oh, no. This was the hook. This was the hook, Jeremy, that they said for the first Evolve special. For the first time ever, the Evolve Men's and Women's Championship will be defended on the same show. That was their big hook, ladies and gentlemen. That was their big hook. Both titles, the only two titles in the promotion, will be defended on their special.
That's a big deal. They're calling it Succession, too.
Evolve Succession. And apparently, this week, next week, they will determine the number one contenders for the championships. So we got an in-ring promo to start off the show with Kendall Gray coming out after a win, making Wendy Chu say I quit last week. She brags about that, says she's going after Callie Armstrong in the women's title. Callie Armstrong comes out. She's like, I'm sick of hearing about you. I'll take you on, no problem. Then Chanel Monroe comes out and interrupts. She says she got screwed over by Kylie Ray, but she took care of Kylie Ray. So I think this is confirmation that Chantel Monroe may be Kylie Ray's baby father. I don't know. When she said that she was taking care of her, I was like, oh, you got her pregnant. Got it. So she took care of her. She's pregnant. She's away for a while. Chantel Monroe, it was then decided by CB Turner, Chantel Monroe versus Kendall Gray in the main event. Winner goes on to Succession to versus Callie Armstrong. And in the end, it was Kendall Gray with the best cross arm breaker in professional wrestling today, getting another tap out victory from Chantel Monroe. Kendall Gray, KG, is moving on to Evolve Succession, where she will challenge Callie Armstrong for the Evolve Women's Championship. Kendall Gray, our next women's champion. You heard it here first. The best spear in the game. I've been on the Kendall Gray bandwagon since this whole Evolve mission started, and I'm going to still be here by Succession. It's going to happen, y'all. Then, what else did they have on the show? I forget what else they had on the show. That was it, pretty much.
No, they Project.
Yeah, the Vanity Project. Put your two fingers up in the chat.
Chase you.
They came out. The first they had a matchup. Swipe Right versus Chase U. Really good matchup too. I thought it was the best match on the show last night. I thought Uriah Connors really had a good week. He looked good on NXT this week in the trios matchup against Dark State. He had a good showing here in this tag team matchup against Swipe Right. In the end, Swipe Right picked up the victory. And then post-match, Jackson Drake started cutting his promo, talking all his trash, saying that they have a problem. So the new fixer of the Vanity Project is Bryce Donovan. He literally is the one that causes all the problems. How is he the fixer? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I was confused by that as well. I was like, wait, you're chastising him for being an issue, and then you're like, he's the fixer. Like, what? Huh?
Wait, don't. Those two things don't make sense. What are we talking about? But yeah, and it was decided in a backstage segment. CB Turner announced it will be Keanu Carver versus Brooks Jensen, the two men that Jackson Drake defeated in a triple threat. They'll face each other in a number one contenders match next week to determine who faces Jackson Drake at Succession.
There you go.
And that was Evolve. We're on the road to Succession. We're on the road to crowning the newest LFG champion. That has been the C-Suite. That was the C-Suite. The C-Suite. That was the C-Suite, where we watch C-level WWE shows.
Real quickly before we get out of here, Zeno Hour still wants to get all this credit for saying John Cena and AJ Styles was a work, and the Cena tweet.
Didn't we say that too?
It's a dumb work.
I literally said that during the show on Tuesday. I said that this is literally going to set it up. They're going to announce it on social media. I didn't expect it to be that same day that they were going to announce it on social media, but they did it.
It's a dumb work. It's stupid. If this was their plan the whole time of like, oh, we're going to pretend like we're not going to give you Styles and Cena. We're going to have Jon say, oh, I'm not going to get to do this match. We're going to have AJ cut this promo that doesn't air on television, mind you. We're going to have AJ cut this promo that he's so mad about the being held down. There's somebody in the back who doesn't want him there. And then we're gonna do all this stuff with Jon where he's gonna lose to Brock Lesnar, and we're gonna put AJ with Los Americanos and have him lose a bunch of matches there as well. And then we're gonna have Jon tweet, "Do you guys want Styles and Cena?" And we're gonna be like, "Yeah, of course they do." Or be like, "All right, this is what the fans want. This is what we're gonna give you." Why are we baby facing and healing the promotion and Triple H of like, oh, we're not going to give it to you, but then because of the demand, we are going to give it to you. You want to do the we listen to the fans so much. Just do good television. That's all you got to do.
This was like the most contrived version of that, of we listen to the fans. This was very telegraphed and everything about it. Like Cena doing the Styles Clash and the Logan Paul matchup is now obviously was his way of requesting to face AJ Styles. And then Triple H's response was, yeah, once you're done with the Brock Lesnar, you lose to Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I'll give you AJ Styles. No problem. AJ Styles in Perth, Australia. Sure. Why not? But like WWE don't really listen to the fans, because how many, like, was it that many fans that were asking for AJ versus Cena before Cena mentioned it in a tweet? Was it that many? I know there was a couple of people that were upset that it was Logan Paul versus John Cena instead of AJ Styles versus John Cena at Clash in Paris. But just because you give us the matchup at a later date, don't mean you're giving the fans what they actually want. What they actually wanted was CM Punk versus John Cena at Money in the Bank this year. What they actually got is John Cena versus CM Punk in Saudi Arabia, which completely broke down how a lot of people viewed CM Punk. What people wanted was John Cena versus AJ Styles at Clash in Paris in front of those Paris fans, because of how much those Paris fans love AJ Styles. To get it in Perth, yes, it's still going to have a great reception from those fans because it's an international crowd. So it's going to get a great response. But will it be what the fans wanted? No, they wanted that at Clash in Paris. Yes, it does. Yes, just because you're giving them the match that they want doesn't mean it's not the wrong time that you're giving it to them, which he has done more than once this year with John Cena.
It's not the wrong time. It's the wrong way. Just do good television. Set it up through good television, not this social media and off-air segments of, oh, people in the back don't want me here. Oh, I'm not going to face AJ, so this was my shout out to him. Oh, let's tweet through it and announce it on Twitter. Just do good stuff on TV. Instead, you wasted Monday with AJ in a backstage segment, and now you're going to do AJ and Dragon Lee against Los Americanos on TV instead of, potentially building to a John Cena match. I get it. Cena's not there. I understand you can't do a face-to-face kind of build. I hope they got video packages ready to go. I hope they got AJ talking about the match and giving it some fire and context for fans who might not know. I hope they got something. Because if they just go out there and just do this tag team match, it's like, anyway, AJ Styles is also wrestling John Cena at Crown Jewel.
He's probably going to get the win for his team, so they can say, oh, he's building momentum. Yeah, the guy who's facing John Cena in one of his 3 last matches is beating the Americanos on TV. Yeah, he has a bunch of momentum heading into that match.
I don't know if they're going to win. I think Dragon Lee might take the L because of Los Americanos here. I'm not even positive they're winning this match. Just do good TV. Quit trying to babyface and heel Triple H and the company on social media. But that's par for the course with Triple H. Like, how can I make the fans love me? How can I be the loved one out of all of this?
Yeah.
Dumb.
And like I think that people tend to forget. Like I think that Cena and Styles had great chemistry in the ring together, but I think that the reason why people fondly remember the SummerSlam 2016 matchup and the Royal Rumble 2017 matchup so fondly is because those had great builds going into it as well, which this will not. So this will, I agree with Gray's streams. I kind of feel like that about like the Logan Paul matchup. He said the tag match and the Cena match will be heatless bangers. And I think that people misuse that term or don't understand that term. Heatless banger doesn't mean a great match that doesn't get a great response from the fans. It can get a great response. And I think the Cena and Logan Paul matchup got a great response from those Paris fans. But it was a heatless banger because I guarantee you, I'm not going to remember that matchup when I list the best matches of the year. So it will be a forgotten banger. That's a heatless banger. Heatless banger is a great match that you will most likely forget when you get to the end of the year. And that's Logan Paul and John Cena. That will most likely be Cena and Styles.
WWE listens to the fans, folks. Just remember that. You wanted R-Truth. You got R-Truth. You wanted Cross or Brock. You got Cross or Brock, depending on who you were chanting and what Triple H decided to hear in that moment. Until you didn't get Cross. Yeah, then he was off. But they listen to the fans, everybody, as long as they can control and contrive what the actual fan response is. All right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know who said that there's no ITW tomorrow. There's ITW tomorrow. As far as I know, I'll be here. So, yeah, I don't know. I will be here. I don't know if anybody else will be, but I will be. SP3, where can they find you at?
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueSP3. I will be live in an hour with Jimmy Macaram on AE Ramble reviewing last night's AEW Dynamite. So come on through. Let's have a good time. Let's talk about some AEW. We'll see if Jimmy watched anything from this weekend. Spoiler alert, probably not. But we will talk about Dynamite.
He doesn't watch All Out.
He doesn't watch any of these pay-per-views. He's like, this is too long for me to watch a wrestling show. But join us. At 1:05 p.m. Eastern. This man didn't even watch the final hour of September to Remember last week. I had to review it on my own. But yes. All right,
I gotta respect Jimmy for that. Honestly,
join us at 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna be talking about Dynamite. I will be back on there tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern time with our NJPW Destruction in Kobe 2025 preview. By the way, Desperado versus Yo was awesome yesterday on the Road 2 show. Yo, two great back-to-back performances between this and the Best of Super Junior final back in June. So yeah, he's had two really great matches for New Japan this year. So go out of your way to watch that Despy matchup, and we'll talk more about that on tomorrow's preview. And then Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. But thank you as always, Jeremy. Always appreciate spending these Thursdays with you.
I watched Despy and Yo, and I watched the tag team match. The
tag team match was good too.
Yeah, I liked SP and Yo a whole lot more. There was some rough spots
there was House of Torture in the tag match.
Yeah, there was some rough spots in the tag team match as well. I was like, they could have been a little bit better. It would have elevated the match a little bit more. But Despy and Yo was fantastic. So I did watch those two matches from yesterday's show. All right, folks. I'll be back at 6:30. Myself and Steven Jensen, Spotlight, talking all things wrestling. I'll be back tomorrow. Joel, I guess, should be here. I don't know why. We're here. We're here on Friday. I'll be here. I don't know if anybody else is showing up, but I'll be here. Appreciate everyone. I
could probably make it work if you need me. So just let me know.
I'm pretty sure Joel's gonna be here. He hasn't said anything otherwise. I don't know why someone thought we weren't gonna be here tomorrow, but as far as I know, we are. Until then, everybody, appreciate everyone. Appreciate all the love, support. We'll talk to y'all later on. Bye, everyone.